So you guys, hello, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Shane and I am going to bring you another City Skylines video today, and we are going to just jump right into it. So today I'm going to work on a few things just kind of throughout the city, start laying down some more basics that I think we need. So I'm gonna work on adding a few more parks, just placing down some more parking for the college area, just kind of detailing that. Right now I'm working on the water treatment area. So this is the sewer system. So as I was saying, I have the sewer system going over to the water treatment facilities across the river, and then I have that output into the ocean or river, whatever you would like to call it. And then I have the new, I think it came from the DLC of Green Cities or maybe Industry, I'm not sure, but it's like the water treatment trash facility. So basically when it is around water, it cleans the water that has pollution in it. So that's what I'm did, and it kind of just like makes the river a little clean and everything kind of just looks better that way. And if you guys haven't seen my last video, please make sure to check that out. It really helps me out on letting me know what you guys like and don't like. So if you haven't seen my last video, please go back and watch episode 2. It really helps me out. Thank you guys so much. So I am now going to start working on this park. I kind of wanted to give it a very easy looking go. I wanted to connect it just like a simple straight A to B path. Some of the parks I will get into later are going to be a little bit bigger. I do want to have some trails going on in the city that are sort of a little bit bigger, and they have like if you know anything about like hiking trails, you know, there's certain trails that are like A to B, it's like a destination, or it's like a loop trail, or like there's a sightseeing trail, you know, A, B, C, D. Like there's certain things upon the trail that you can go see or do. I like looping trails. I think that it gives it like a good full circle. So as you can see here, I'm just kind of detailing it now with some trees. I added in a little plaza, a little playground, a little cafe, you know, just something that the neighborhood people can use. I did have a trolley system set up just right next to the park, so I think that it would be good to bring some people in to the local area. So I'm just switching up the rocks because I hate the repetition of when they're all facing the same way. I think it's something that I can notice. I don't know if you guys can notice that. Let me know down in the comments below. So over here, I'm just going to start sort of extending the areas that we already have going with this train station on the other side. It is kind of a weird little fit, but I did manage to get 2 little industry areas right in the center of like the little pits between the 2 highway on ramps and off ramps. I think that it gives like a good little bit of realism that the, you know, industry is right next to the highway. Every time I know I go driving down the highway, especially in like Southern California, which I'm not saying this is a city in like specifically designed for Southern California, but like this is something that I think is a little bit more real to like what I see in my life. So I do live in Southern California and I do see a lot of industry kind of like on the side of the road. So I accidentally did lose some of the footage of me building some of that industry area. I did go ahead and fix that up and add some new industry area over here. I think I did somewhat of a mixed use area with a little bit of industry and office space. I think that it gives a little bit more of realism, and it also doesn't have like traffic be too heavy in one area, but it also brings all the workers to that one area. So it gives you a good dimension of workers inflow and outflow. So right now I'm just going to start. So I think the inflow and outflow like also gives like a really good dimension of realism. I'm going to kind of like figure out what I want to do with this area. I kind of wanted to give it a easy flowing road, but it wasn't really like a vibe. I don't know, it didn't really feel like a good area to me. So I just went ahead and made it I've just upgraded the roads a little bit and just made it a little bit different. I added in a roundabout because I thought the roundabout would kind of have the traffic just be a little bit easier to flow. And also I like the roundabouts because it gives you like a sense of motion, like they don't ever stop. So I kind of like that aspect when I was building the city. I'm sorry that it's so dark right now, you guys. I will fix that in a second, I believe. This is a little area I was just kind of checking. I did certain things that I like to do in the industry areas because they are so close to the highways. I do like to add some entrances and exits, not a lot, but I do add mostly exits, just like so the traffic gets a little bit easier to where they need to go. I think the highway on-ramps and off-ramps that I build, like the style that I do, are very efficient in having oncoming and off-coming traffic. So I think all of that can just like work out together. And remember guys, if you have not seen my last episode 2, we worked on laying down the downtown and adding in all of the tall skyscrapers. So again, if you haven't seen that, please go back and watch episode 2. It really helps me out. So this area ended up actually being really cool. I did need to switch up the roads quite a bit, but this is the kind of like final layout, but I just needed to switch up the roads. Like some of them need to be a little bit bigger, some of them need to be smaller, some of them need to have a lot of paths added to them. One thing that I definitely do in my cities is add paths. It's just something that I think is very essential. Like I do need to have something that can let my citizens walk around easily to, and that also goes because I want public transportation to be very efficient in this city. The metro system is going to be very far and wide spread, so I do want them to have a great deal of walkability throughout the city. So you can see that's what I'm doing by adding a lot of streets and paths. It just lets the citizens get around easier, because if they can get around easier, then it is going to create less traffic because they don't want to drive, and if they don't want to drive, then that is going to have my taxes go up on public transportation, and that's going to be very successful. So I'm very excited to see how this city does turn out. If you guys have any recommendations or suggestions, please leave them down in the comments below. I am trying to figure out what I want to do on adding some more paths, and I think it's very important to have paths. One thing that I do want to try and focus on a little bit more is adding some rails between the highways and pedestrian paths. As you can see, I have them right up against them, and I don't know if that's very realistic, but I think it works out good for the game. So if you guys would like to see me change that, just let me know. See, like right here, I would just put rails in, but it's very like detailed and like zoomed in. And let me know if you guys did want me to do that, though. I don't think it's very necessary, but if you guys do, then I will. Also, I did end up putting some mixed use buildings throughout here. I said that earlier. It's going to be a mixed use of commercial and industrial, and I think that's a very good mix for this area to have the school right next to and a little bit of the downtown separation from the suburban outside train station that we're doing right now, to the downtown station. So you can see this train station is a little out there from the downtown. It is nice and open and has greenery around, and it's not very too densely compact. There have been cities in the past that I have built that are so dense and kind of like an afterthought that I just didn't want this city to have an afterthought kind of feel. So I wanted everything to kind of be very thought out and well placed, and if something doesn't work, I will go back and switch it. I am not afraid to do that. I do just want to have a good base kind of down. I want to have good bones in this city, if you say, just because I want to have this be a staple city for me. Like, I want this to be my first city that I can always go back on and remember by watching these videos. So if you guys do have any suggestions, please leave them down below. It always helps me out. But as you can see right now, I'm using the marquee tool to select what squares I want to have set up for industry. I do love having industry because it does bring a lot of life to the area. It does have people who want to move in. It has more commercial bring up like around it. So I do like to have industry in the area. It brings in a lot of life, and I just want to have a little bit more realism. So I did end up putting some commercial in here instead of the office space, but I ended up doing a little bit of mixed use on the other section below with the office space, just to give it that touch. As you can see, what I'm doing now is I don't like it when I use this tool, the marquee tool, and it's just 4x4 squares, like it's just set up that way. I do like to switch it up and have some of them be like designed like by me, my way. So like this is what you can see what I'm doing here. Like I'm setting up for them to be a 3x3 or 4x4 or 2x2. Like I'm specifically telling the game that's what I want there, because I know that's the kind of type of building like height and size requirement that I would like. So to me, that is something that would be important. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start kind of wrapping up some of the stuff. I'm gonna start adding in the metro system pretty soon. I did realize that I built this without kind of thinking of that first, so this little section is kind of an afterthought, but I do guarantee you that it is still really good. The metro line does work out to be pretty successful over here so far, and that is giving me a lot of hope because it is not even built up yet. So I think that having the city built up around the metro line will make the metro line very successful versus having the metro line be an afterthought, and the city built up around the metro line is just going to bring in a lot more tourism and public transportation use, and so that's going to be really important for me. But before I do that, I am going to start with the parking. This parking is going to be for the college. It is kind of a hodgepodge of parking. I didn't really know what I could do with it. It didn't really fit in with the area too well. I do have the AI on for the public parking, but it kind of is weird. Some of it isn't very realistic, but some of it is. So I'm just gonna add up some details to this area, and then I'm going to call it a day. I am investing in some of this area. This was actually right before the Sunset Harbor collection DLC came out, so I just added a hospital there, but I want to add some of the new kind of like senior citizen centers and child facility centers. I think those are a really cool mix to the game, and I would love to see something in the future maybe added like a dog pound or animal shelter, or government office area. Something like that would be really cool. So I am now going to start working on the metro lines. As you can see, I only added 2, but it actually did create a lot of success so far, so I'm very excited for that. I did end up accidentally deleting one of the train lines, but nonetheless I took care of that, and now we are working on the metro lines. So I just wanted to get these taken care of. I think they are going to create a big wave in the like downtown urban communities so that people do not have to walk. I don't want them to walk far. I don't want them to have to drive at all. But then again, walking, like I want them to be spaced out kind of like in squares, I guess you could say, so you can get to anywhere fast. You can walk, I want to say 3 or 4 blocks from each subway station until you will find another one. I want there to be 4 to each blocks from each one, so maybe 8 altogether. I don't know if you understand the numbers that I'm throwing up right now, but basically I'm just putting all of the new subway lines down. I have to go in and fill out the old spots and fill out with the new ones. Some of them do get tricky, and I might have to delete like a whole line or 2. I forget if I did have to do that. Sometimes you do have to do that. It's kind of tricky adding in a new one, but everything is starting to look really good. I am saving on the multi-platform station that has 4 metro lines. I am kind of saving that for the future. One of them I'm saving till we get on the other side, on the little farther outskirts of the town. I kind of want to have that be another extension into the downtown area from the suburbs on the farther end of the line. So we'll see how that turns out in the future. Let me know if you guys want that to go to an amusement park or zoo or something fun like that. Let me know what you would like that subway line to go to. But now I am kind of just checking out all of this new line, and I'm making sure that everything is running smoothly and is operating well. I still see from here that we do have a little need for residential, so I think I can do that in the next episode. So hopefully all of that metro line is taken care of. I think I got that all situated properly. So right now I am going to go around the areas and start filling out some of the districts. I only put 2 districts, well technically 3 because of the IT cluster, but I put 2 districts in the downtown area. One of them is specifically kind of like skyscrapers, and it has the football and concert area, which is more, I consider, the downtown. And then the outer downtown on the suburb area is its own district, and that one is right next to the IT cluster, which is its own little district too, but that is only like 2 little blocks. So I put 2 of those separately because I have this mod that is called, I think it's like a historical only or something like that. I forget the exact name of it, but if you want to go in the description below, I think I will have my mods and access lists. If I don't, please let me know. And basically it just lets you put the entire district that you paint over. All of the buildings inside become a historical building, and that really helps out, especially with the buildings that are kind of like in that little between zone where they are like still considered, in my eyes, a medium residential. I know City Skylines does not have a medium residential. It's either like a suburban home or a skyscraper, but I think there is a medium home. I think there is a difference in homes, especially in City Skylines. There should be a 3rd kind of level. There should be a small, medium, and large kind of way to do residential buildings. Regardless of that, I am now going around and starting to fix up some of the traffic. Basically, I'm not doing anything too major. I'm just taking away some stop signs or stoplights, or adding in a left turn, right turn only. It just makes everything run a little bit smoothly. The cars that are in the downtown can get out of the downtown very quickly and efficiently, and that's basically my main goal. And it's a big priority of mine to set the traffic into a designated lane that each of them can have their own set. So now I'm going to start with the downtown high school. I noticed that we were just on the cusp of not having enough capacity for the high school students, so I did go ahead and place down this high school that I got from the Steam Workshop. It is 3,500 capacity for students, and I think it is just a very good addition into the kind of like environment of the downtown, suburban downtown area. I did kind of put a lot of parking lots and parks and tennis courts, soccer, like all of that around it, just so that there would be a good work between work and play and school and work and live and all of that. I think the citizens would be very happy of their community that they're living in now. So that is about it for today, guys. I am going to start kind of wrapping everything up here. I had a blast hanging out with you guys today. If you liked watching, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. It really helps me out, lets me know what to do, lets me know to keep going, lets me know what's good and bad. It really helps me out, you guys. I think in the next one, I'm going to start working on a red light district or maybe a few hospitals, but who knows, you guys. That is in the next video. Thank you all so much for watching. It really means the world to me when you guys watch. Well, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next week. Have a great day, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.